XRP might be doubling in the upcoming weeks. Last month, XRP blasted through the $2 support zone, and after 2 successful retests, it's still holding strong. At the same time, this massive uptrend in Bitcoin dominance has finally come to an end, topping off after around 61%. With Bitcoin remaining firmly above $95,000, there's a lot of room for the altcoins to grow. And XRP is no exception, which is why in today's video, we're going to take a look at why XRP is at a prime buying opportunity. Taking a look at the previous bull run's high at around $2, if you take a Fibonacci retracement and go down to this swing low at around 10 cents and extend that out to today's price action, on a smaller time frame, you can really see how the price action is respecting these retracement levels. You can see how it was being used as resistance and support around the 0.5 and the 0.16 level coming on the way up, then resistance around the 0.78 level, support again on the 0.618, blasted right through this level right here, then strong resistance back at the 1, blasted through again, resistance initially on the 1.272, finally on this swing high here, it was strong resistance on the 1.414 as well as resistance here again, and then here on the 1, it's just our massive support level that we're currently remaining above. With that being said, if we can somehow get above some of these resistance levels up here, we can actually use these levels up here, for example, the 2.618 level at around $5 as a take profit level that we can most likely rely upon based on how the price is respecting these extension levels. And I think there's a very real possibility that we do start coming up towards that price level, mainly because we're currently within this range between around $2 and $3.30, and there isn't that much resistance on the way up, stopping us from coming around this $3.30 level. Now, if we do make it back up to this $3.30 range, do keep in mind that there is a strong resistance here. We butted up against it and had a few candle closes on the daily back in 2017 when we were around its all-time high, and it could be a very difficult zone to break up above. But if we do it, once again, looking at those same old extension levels, the next take profit would be around $5.11. With the current price around $2.15, that would be about a 150% increase, which could be very, very good. Just don't get too greedy. Definitely just trade within channels on the way up, take profits on the way up. I'm just saying that the price for XRP does follow the extension and retracement levels very, very well, which is why those are what I'm using as take profit in the event that we are on this upper bound of the channel and we make a break above. Outside of the basic understanding that we're currently trading within this range and that we're at the bottom of this range, which is typically when we would take longs, I wanted to emphasize the fact that there's other things going on under the hood that could add fuel to the fire and push the price upward. Just to start, the momentum indicators are extremely bullish. I know we're technically flashing a red dot, and it is possible that we do mosey on down to a little bit under $2 in the short term, just based on this red indicator here. But I just wanted to emphasize that we were kind of overbought for quite some time, and finally momentum has drifted back down into oversold territory, which typically is when you want to buy, not in overbought territory. Not to mention our side did the exact same thing. It was previously super high at around 95, and in fact we were above the 90s for an extremely long period of time, about 2 weeks. We finally drifted back down, and today we poked ever so slightly underneath 50, and we're above this moving average right here, which is typically when you want to buy into assets, is when the RSI is above the moving average and reset into some sort of sane level, which we're currently at on the daily. Zooming into the smaller time frames, it's hard to ignore this extremely obvious flag pattern, less of a flag pattern and more of a triangle pattern if we count this wick here. So counting the wick, this is what the pattern would be that we're currently looking at. However, some people don't like to look at the wick. They just like to look at where the candle closes. If we did that, we would move this line down ever so slightly, and suddenly we wouldn't be looking at a triangle pattern. We would actually be looking at more of, a flag pattern like this, sort of a descending channel with a small wick below that we would ignore. And either way, we still have the same upper bound as resistance. So we would either way be basically looking at the same line for breakouts. So it doesn't really matter if you look at the candle closes or the wicks, because we still basically draw the same resistance. I actually like to look at the wicks, and for that reason, I like to look at this and say, hey, this is a triangle pattern, and we're currently trading within this triangle pattern, and we're looking for making sure we're above support here and looking for breakouts above resistance here. I did want to add that currently the bottom of this triangle coincides with the top of this support zone, which is really good because when you have overlapping support, and this is already proved to be a very strong support, but it's just nice to see overlapping support like that. That means later on, even if price wants to maybe go down a little bit, it's going to have a hard time doing so, which is why I'm saying that, anything under $2 is definitely long buying territory with some sort of a stop loss under $1.80 minimum. Unless you're on a smaller time frame, then you could have an even tighter stop loss. I wanted to add that this type of triangle pattern is generally regarded as a neutral pattern. What a neutral pattern means is that the direction that you go, that you favor the price action to go in, is based off of what the price was doing prior to forming that pattern. And as you can see here, we're clearly in an uptrend here, followed by consolidation. That was a neutral form of consolidation, which favors a continuation of the uptrend, which we got, followed by a neutral form of consolidation, in this case, that same sort of triangle pattern, followed by a large upswing. And now we have this obvious triangle pattern, which is neutral, right? Which favors further continuation to the upside. So I would not be surprised if that's what we got, but keep in mind that there's no way to know for sure that that's going to happen. It could very well break out, which is why just buy around support with tight stop loss and you should be fine. The momentum indicators on the 4-hour also look extremely bullish. You can see here extremely negative momentum here that's starting to curl upward, not to mention increasingly higher lows on the waves, and an RSI that's clearly oversold at around 37, and extremely under, super under this moving average here, showing that there could be a rebound on the RSI as well. So keep an eye on the indicators, see what's going on with that. If we do happen to break above this resistance right here, that could be a very good sign. Make sure you buy your longs right on it, and make sure to look for a retest in that event. Also, this swing high that we had around $2.90 is probably going to act as some sort of short-term resistance. So if we do see the price come up to around $2.90, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some sort of reaction coming off of it. And that reaction hopefully won't turn into some sort of a double top, but keep in mind that possibility is also very much on the table. So yeah, I just wanted to make a quick update on XRP. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and as per usual, let me know down in the comments below any other cryptocurrencies you'd like me to take a look at.